everybody.
Hello, everyone. So welcome back here with Talk It Out. It's me, Francesca and Lisa, and we're so happy to be back here tonight to chat and talk with you, to share our thoughts, to listen to your thoughts and your opinions. And I really hope you enjoyed our last short inspired by The Sopranos, the magic Sopranos. And probably, I'm not sure if all of you are aware that a movie is coming out next about The Sopranos. And indeed, this is quite a bit related to our amazing guest, the guest that we're gonna have tonight.
Yes, our guest is actually a writer, director, editor, Montreal-based writer and a filmmaker. His latest film was called Night Shift. It was actually shot in Laval and Montreal.
Wow.
Another local film, guys. Put your hands together, guys. Anticipate the director, the most talented person and friend that I know, Mr. JOE Rossi.
Thank you.
Hi, Joe. Welcome here with us.
Thank you.
Welcome, Joe.
All right.
How are you?
Not bad. Yourself?
Good, good.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So, Joe, let's start right away, just to give some information. So, I know you've been doing lots of movies, you've been working on lots of productions. So, I'd like to know something. Would you rather work alone or in team when you write in screenplay? Because I know you wrote also the majority of the movies you produced and created.
Well, the last couple years I've been working with a writer. Well, my team, Lonely Path Films. It's a company run by Anthony Calabrese, who was a writer and producer for our last three films. I usually co-direct with my friend David Magini, who I've known since film school, about 20 years, and produce with my friend Daniel Maetze, who I've known since high school. And Anthony came on board with his company, and we started working together as a writing team, and it's been fruitful. I enjoy working as a team. The collaboration. It makes it a pleasant experience.
Yeah, and then we can see that definitely in your movies.
I have a particular question for you. What influenced you to pursue film?
Wow.
As a kid, we had my parents were part owners of a video store, my father. So I was always into movies. I always watched movies as a kid. I was an only child, so I watched a lot of movies. And it wasn't until, I would think 1993, when Jurassic Park came out, that my mom bought, for Christmas, me a book on the making of the film, which got me interested in how films were produced and made. And it's because of that I started, thinking about a possible career in it. And by the time I was in my teens, I said, no, that's what I want to do. And from then on, it was just a matter of doing it, and I did.
Oh, nice.
So we've been talking, there is directing and there is writing a screenplay. So there are two different jobs, very well connected between the two. So I'm curious, what are you looking for when developing a screenplay?
I think how the story would connect, well, how much a story connects with me, how much I can bring my own experiences to the story. I mean, I don't make fantastical movies about, fantasy or anything. I do more realistic dramas and comedies. And most of the stuff in the plots are stuff that has actually happened to me, or stuff that I know about, or stuff that's relatable to, us. So that's why I try to find something that's very, relatable to our, society, and, that's about it.
I'm personally close to you, I imagine.
Yes, that's it.
Okay.
I guess we all can relate to that. I mean,
It's storytelling in the end.
Yes.
Okay.
And creative writing. Yeah. You're actually very good at that.
Oh, thank you.
You've done many scripts.
Yes.
And I have to say, I've had the pleasure of doing some of the films with Joe, so I have to say exceptional. Four.
Wow.
4 films. So I have to say, you're treat to work with.
Thank you.
Fantastic director, amazing scripts, and it was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Which leads me to my next point. What legacy would you like to leave?
Wow, that is
This is
a
a loaded
question.
question.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a big one.
Oh.
That's something you should ask me yesterday so I could prepare
Aha!
that.
I like spontaneity.
Legacy. I think I would like. I have 2 children, 2 boys, and I would like them to think of their father not having an ordinary job, but having something really cool. Now, even though I probably don't make it to Hollywood or I make it that high on the food chain of the directing world, I just want to leave them something that they can show that their friends or to their future family members. Look what my dad did, rather than just have that regular ordinary job, which is fine, but something cool.
Yeah.
So I'm glad. I want my kids to look upon that and think their dad was cool in a way.
Are you hoping that maybe they might follow into your footsteps?
We'll see.
That's
Kind of a difficult thing. I like to see them. They're both creative kids, and hopefully they will do something with that talent.
Oh,
But
nice.
whatever they do, I'll like.
Now I have another question for you. Because I know more or less your mentality when you're casting for a role and you have a vision. I remember you have a vision for certain people that fit certain roles.
Okay.
And my question to you is, if you could choose one person, now this is from any time period, to be in one of your movies,
We're talking about a performer.
a performer, an actor.
Okay.
Now from any time period, who would you choose?
Oh my
James
God.
Cagney.
James Cagney. Why? Wow, that's awesome.
Because that was a movie star. But he was a song and dance man. He was a comic actor. He was a gangster actor. He was a dramatic actor. Never hammy. He never hammed for the audience. He was exactly who he was, and he was self-taught. He was a self-taught dancer, self-taught actor, and to me, he could have played anything. He could play anything from the romantic lead to the heavy.
Yeah.
He could have done it all.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
How about
He's my
women?
favorite.
How about women?
Oh wow, yeah.
Ah, there's another twist.
If I had to pick
Come
a
on,
female
Joe.
actor, the obvious would be going like say Meryl Streep or something like that. But I love Meryl Streep. But no, if I had to pick a female actor, especially if I had to go back in time,
Don't forget David's watching.
well, we can spend hours arguing on that one. But if I had to go for female performance or a female actor, it would probably have to be Julieta Messina in Knights of Cabiria.
Oh wow.
Oh, okay.
I think that's the greatest female performance in a film. I would coupled only or tied only equal to her performance in La Strada. But Knights of Cabiria, not the Cabiria, I think is one of the greatest films ever made, and I think that is the greatest female performance ever given.
Well, why? What do you think that attracted you of what she brought on the screen?
Her likability. You just feel empathy for her. She said she could be nasty, she could be mean, she could be but there's something about her that makes me worry about her. And even when the film ended, I'm like, I think Fellini said the same thing. It's the only character that I worry about after the film credits roll.
Oh, okay.
I think she's like the they called her the female chaplain, and it's right. She's a great actress.
Very nice.
That's kind of very specific.
You would know her. 'Cause you must have
Well,
Yeah.
we share some background.
Yeah.
But anyways, so you've been very specific in your choice now.
Oh, yeah.
So I want to go a little bit specific with the last question before. I want to just tackle a bit your last fatigue, like night shift. So we have features films and short films, but generally like we know like the distinctions in terms of time, of course, timing and duration. But I just want to know, what's the greatest challenge that you encounter when you have to shoot a short movie?
it means having it try to make sense in a short amount of time. You're condensing something into a compact package that it can go wrong very fast. It can go off the rail very quickly, and if you're not anything concise or precise, you could just lose the meaning of it. But I think that's the hardest thing when me and Anthony write. It's trying to have a coherent story told in, I would think, max 10 pages. Just trying to get the major point across. And that would be it. Just trying to condense it.
Okay, that's very interesting. And actually, it brings me to the next question when I'm talking about night shift. So first off, I know I already told you behind the scene, but I love the sound editing of this opera. Like, it's great. It's fantastic. And I'd like to know, because it's a very specific topic, a very specific subject. And I want to know how you guys developed this idea where he came from, because he mixed up a little bit of background here in Montreal, but with a kind of a thriller, but it's more dramatic because there's also love, compassion. There's a lot in it.
That was a team effort because I had the initial story of Night Shift, which was very a mundane drama. It didn't add a lot of the army story background of the character. It was Anthony Calabrese who brought that to the film. And I'm like, and at first I was hesitant. I'm like, I think you're being a bit too much, but no, it actually works. And he was right. He made a really good call on that. And then the thriller aspect was David Magini, because his forte is horror thriller. And so he brought that to actually in the opening sequence, that's him and the dead body.
Yeah. Really?
He's wrapped up in the garbage bag.
A great opening scene, by the way, guys.
And,
have a look at it. It's on YouTube.
And yeah, he brought that because he always wanted to do a horror film. That's what he gravitates to, and I think it came off really nicely. And yeah, we all worked together very well on this one, and the results are in the final product. So we're very happy.
No, definitely. And we've been talking about, you said just right now, like a team effort. So can you tell us who was part of this amazing team and cast that helped you developing this fantastic project?
Well, Lonely Path Films is Anthony Calabrese's company,
okay.
And he's also the producer and the writer. Anita Maetza, again, one of my oldest friends, helps us produce the film. She's also, let's say, the location manager, production manager. She's like the heart and soul. She basically, without her, I think everything would fall apart.
Oh, okay.
Me and David we direct. We have a shorthand with each other. Basically, we can finish each other's sentences to a point we even look alike. And
That is so true.
And that's it. And also, I've been working with my sound guy, Phil Barrett, who is ace. Anybody wants good sound, call Phil Barrett. He's fantastic. I've been working 20 years. We had a great cast. Massimo Canestraro. He's an actor and a comedian from Laval. He plays the main character. We have Dale Hayes, an acting teacher, and a great actress from Montreal. We have Julie Barbeau, who was the first time I ever worked with her, and I think she's fantastic. Guido Grasso, too, comedian. Everything went according to plan on this one. Everything went well.
Okay, so you feel satisfied with this project?
Satisfied, yes.
And you should, because guys, you have to follow it. It's amazing. You have to watch it. It's fantastic.
My last question for you, Joe. When you're writing, what is the premise that you have when you're writing your script in terms of cast, story? What is it that sort of motivates you to choose the people you do? Or let's say your team, like Anita, when you guys have to cast, when you guys get together, what is your driving motivation? What is your end goal? Is it just to entertain? Is it to put across a message? And as to sister question to that, what is it that you hope to sort of, okay, well, let's just finish on this and then I'll give you the other question.
Okay, so repeat the question.
I see a deep level of questioning
I was
here.
just like really thinking, and I'm like,
we're so happy to have you here, Joe. So we're just
repeat it again.
When you're writing and directing and producing, what is your motivation? What is your end game for the project that you do when you're writing your script? From the cast and choosing your actors to the final cut, putting it out there for the public, what do you hope to achieve?
I just want to make a good movie. There's nothing. That's big. That's the base of it. Mm-hmm. I'll never be satisfied. Actually, I'll be honest. I'm never satisfied with my final product. Mm-hmm. I hope people are, but as the person or part of the team making it, no artist is ever satisfied with the final product. Mm. So I kind of have to let go at a point and see if the audience likes it. And I think it's. I think this one worked.
Yeah.
The things I would change it, like in all my films, But I think the end goal, the end result is not me. I'm not trying to do it for me. If I try to do it for me, I just make movies that I want to see. Yeah. So I try to do things that people want to see, and hopefully it works.
And for the casting?
Yeah. Well, I think we flipped the coin on that one. We have auditions. We see who fits the bill, who fits the part, and we'll make them read if they have to. Or sometimes we write for a specific person, and most of the time, they usually say yes.
Yeah.
So I'm very lucky on that front.
Now, if you had to give any aspiring actors, because there's a lot of them in the city.
All right.
There's a lot of them. Whether you're actor or non-actor, there's a lot
All
of
right.
people who really want to give of themselves creatively, I think, in terms of acting, in terms of radio, in terms of whatnot, entertainment industry. What's the one piece of advice you can give these young people? Now, not necessarily young. It could be older people. It could be middle-aged. But what is your one concrete word of advice?
And it can go for actors, directors, writers, and all that stuff. I say, don't do it for the money. Because I never did it for the money. If I would do it for the money, I wouldn't be doing it. I'd be making my first film and waiting for someone to hire me or pick it up or make it win a festival. So I just keep doing it.
Yeah.
So I never stopped. I do a film a year. Taking a year off because of the pandemic, essentially, but a film a year, and if it sticks, it sticks. If it works, it works.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Look at that.
And I have another question. So you have an extensive career right now so far, but I want to know, where are you heading now? Where is Joseph Rossi heading now? What are your next projects in terms really concrete projects? And on the other hand, where you're really heading, what you want to achieve?
Well, me and my team were developing 2 films for the rest of the year.
Okay.
One to shoot in the late summer, one to shoot in the fall.
Nice.
One comedy, one drama. So we're gonna see if we can mix it up a bit. And are you talking about for the future?
Yeah, where you see yourself.
Hopefully, we want to actually develop a feature in the next couple of years.
Nice.
So hopefully that is going to come to fruition, and wherever that takes us, it takes us.
You don't know yet if it's gonna be like a drama, comedy, or...
Oh, we know what it's going to be.
Ah.
We have a good idea.
Can you
what it's
give
gonna be.
us some...
No.
No, sorry, guys.
no,
We
but-
tried.
So hopefully in the next 2-3 years, we're going to have something that hopefully that can reach that level we want it to reach.
Okay, fantastic. That's always like the artist talk. They really they don't want to say
Vague.
too much. They want to be like on
Yeah.
point. That makes sense. Absolutely.
We're like politicians.
Oh yeah, definitely. Better probably sometimes.
Yeah, that's it. We're actors.
So thank you so much, Joe. Really, and congratulations again over your career. That's fantastic, and
Thank
you
you.
guys really have to follow him and watch his beautiful movies. So where people can actually have a look at your.
On YouTube, it's Lonely Path Films, and you guys could check it out there. Just type in Lonely Path Films, and you'll see our filmography. Everything should be on there, so hopefully you guys enjoy it.
Excellent.
Thank you, and we'll make sure that you are up to date with his next releases and everything.
Yeah, maybe you guys can audition.
You'll see.
Who knows?
All right. Thanks so much, Joe.
Thanks so
problem.
much.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for being here with us tonight.
I'm just going to get out of your way.
No problem.
That was so interesting.
Oh my God, yeah.
You know what? I have to go out for more auditions.
But because you're great. Guys, Lisa is amazing, is fantastic.
I know, he's a good guy. I have to say.
You know actually that she's great.
Yeah, I know Joe. Joe, we've known each other for how long?
2008.
2008. Time flies.
Wow.
You had red hair.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Shh. It's a long time ago, yes,
Yeah.
but not that long. We're not old.
What? Not
25.
No, I mean, I was, 18 when we... 2008. Anyways, but no, it's always entertaining to know, it's always great
Yeah.
to know that Montreal is such a diverse city full of talent.
No, that's definitely sure. And also, guys, like for cinema, movies, and everything that is related to the film industry, Montreal is really a great city.
Yeah.
Like lots of also production from United States.
Yes.
They come here, not only just because everybody says, oh, it's cheaper compared to US, but also because they can find a wide array of great professionals that
Yes.
works in many fields in the film industry, specifically a lot when we are talking about special effects and for animation cinema. We have amazing production company here in Montreal.
Yes.
And it's not actually talking since we are entering summer.
Yes.
So look around because you might not even see some big stars just walking around. Now that we're actually a little bit opening the border, finally, oh my God, thanks so much. We're getting through this tough period that hit us so hard.
If anybody can find good-looking male actors, it's yours truly. Actually, you know what? Not too long ago, they were filming right in front of my workplace.
Oh my God.
They had the lights, the trucks coming out, and I was like, wow. And I was thinking about, you know, the location and what it could be. And they are everywhere. You got pockets of films just happening everywhere. And you know what? I have to be very honest. I saw some of the female actors out there, and it's very interesting to see how women are so uninhibited when they're on set, they're in their roles, they're taking charge, and it's fun. It's enjoyable.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, on our Cumbare set, it's the same type of thing. Like, you're always a family, but you feed off each other, and we have that confidence and that close vibe with each other, and it creates great relationships, which is completely phenomenal.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Lisa, I actually have a question for you on this subject. Is Lisa, too, as you've been probably hearing right now, she has an extensive experience in acting, and she's kind of inspiring all of us, I have to say. And thank you so much for that. But like, as an actress, sorry for sometimes my English.
I love your accent.
So, but as an actress, like, are you feeling like there is a difference compared to your male, colleagues? Like, I mean, I'm not an actor. I try to be.
You're fantastic.
Thanks so much. But like, do you feel like we have to experience something different when we trying to prepare for a role or to get into, compared to our colleagues, but also on set? Mm-hmm. So as Lisa was saying, we are a great family, a big family. So I'm not really talking about Cumbare because, I mean, we really help each other. There are no differences. And thanks to Lisa, Stefano, Luigi, Luis, everyone in the cast are amazing.
Yeah.
But in general, because you've been in many sets, in many different occasions, so do you feel there is some differences,
In terms of the roles, or in terms of preparing
roles, and
for
also
them?
preparing on set for that to be like in general, being a female actress, like compared to our colleague, I put myself in our male colleague.
I guess really it's similar to the point that it requires the same investment of time and study. It differs based on role and what you audition for. I mean, it's really role oriented. You can go for a role that requires a very masculine trait, a very strong, and that takes some type of extensive study. And the study is more mindset. It's not really just physical, It's more here. That's the preparatory part of it. To act, it's basically similar. It requires the same level of energy. It depends also if you're a main role, a secondary role, or a background role. I think all the energy should be put in, and it should all be up to that par, that level, because everybody has an impact. It goes down right to the smallest role.
Okay.
So I think for anybody who is branching out, and I know it's very tough, especially women, because we always have that premise that it's based on looks, it's based on specific talent. Not necessarily. I mean, if you have an ambition, if you have something that you feel you can bring forth to the screen, to the radio, as a journalist, anything of the sort, you can invest your time into that. You can it builds your confidence and makes you as, it gives you a feeling of empowerment, and I encourage anybody to do it. I mean, don't base it just on physical, because honestly, people, it's not just the physical part. You have talent, go with it.
Okay, but did you ever face any kind of obstacles in your environment?
Yes, I mean, it's a woman will always feel a sense. A woman, I can say, I'm just speaking from a female point of view. You will always feel a sense of intimidation. The reason being is because you always compare, and I find women compare themselves a lot to other women, whether it be looks, the length of hair, the color of the hair, the style of clothes, the makeup, the complexion. There's always something that we always judge ourselves. And it's very important for women to understand that it's not just the physical that makes the person. It's how you carry yourself. And that goes with anything. It's not just the acting. It's not just in the entertainment world. It's in everyday life.
It's the personality too, I believe.
Exactly.
You know? The way you bring your persona out there.
Exactly. And I know a lot of women, especially now with the COVID, and I know a lot of people personally, they feel very, very, they felt very isolated. And now as they come out into the world, there's an adjustment because they don't know how to readjust themselves. And in this sense, you guys just have to take a step back and say, you know, I am who I am. And you don't have to change yourself just to conform to what other people envision you as.
Yeah.
You know, just be yourself. And as women, it's very important because I find we're very hard on ourselves.
Oh, that's so true. And also, as you were saying, like just right now, right after COVID,
Yes.
it's kind of almost worse because we've been just secluded for such a long time, and now we're facing like all the stress that we are living through, and now we are actually right away pushed because from one day to another everything changed, which is amazing, of course.
Yeah.
Then right now we find ourselves out there with our problems, facing the problems that we've been experiencing throughout the pandemic, but also like putting ourselves out. Like we've been talking a lot about dating, for example, you know, and it was so hard. Like, I mean, sometimes I think how people could date, like for a single person throughout the pandemic, it's so tough, you know. And probably I had the feeling that we didn't really talk enough about that difficulty because everybody clearly was thinking about the better health for everyone. We made the right choices, but still for someone who lives alone and just need to find love and, you know, to have someone close, it's hard, no?
Well, now that you mention that, because we are headed towards summer and nobody's happier than me because I can't stand winter. Sorry, I hate winter. I'm so not a winter person.
I feel you. I feel your sister.
Yeah, I just heard something that gave me a heart attack in my ears, but that's so summer's here, we're in green, everything is doing well, everything is in full swing. Now, it's funny that you mentioned dating. I'm very curious. I'm always curious. People who know me know I'm curious and I always have to know. I'm a sponge. I really need to know things. Not because I'm nosy. It has nothing to do with that.
Absolutely
I
not.
love to learn. I love to expand.
And that is true.
That is true. People are starting to date. My question to you. Okay. Everything is reopening. What is your ideal date?
Oh my God.
Now, I'm not talking about guy. If you want to explain a guy, that's perfectly fine. You know, we're all women. Well, we're women here. They're not, but we're women here. We can chat it up. But aside from the type of guy, what is your ideal date now that everything is open?
Well, usually my ideal date, first date, well, it's been a long time I didn't date, so it's just like, I remember back in time.
Yeah.
But it was a long time. I think it was prehistoric, like dinosaurs were kind of
Part
living
of the fossil
around.
era.
And, but then mammoths arrived, so I believe like I have kind of confusion, so that says a lot. But anyways, like besides dinosaurs and mammoths, what I remember is just like, probably I always love to be brought out for dinner because that says a lot about a man. But not just because I want to be offered the dinner, but then you can see how the guy is treating you, of course, how the guy is treating waiters and waitresses, how is he is willing to pay for you, he wants to split the way he does that, because we all know, you know, like there is the guy that says, I'm gonna pay for you, but it does in that way that seems like, I'm not able to pay because you're a poor woman, you cannot pay for yourself. Hey man, you know, just so you know, I can pay for my bill, right? Okay.
We don't say that. We want him to ask you out so he can pay the bill.
Exactly, but there's a nice way to do, you know, something nice, someone like that, he really wants to do that for you. And I really pay attention how he treats the waiter, the waitresses, and the people who are working, because it says a lot about what kind of person he is.
Yes.
So that was always my first go-to date, because you can have an idea, and then you can also know about his food preferences. So we are Italian, we love to cook, and oh my God, sometimes Lisa puts so good, like things, sauces, and sausages.
Sausages. We won't get into that topic.
Yeah, always. And then very interesting things. So so we are Italian women, so we need to know what our potential men would like to eat, So
we have to know if he cooks as well.
Exactly.
That's
if he can gives you, some advice, he said, oh, this is overcooked, this is not. So you already have an idea. So it really tells you a lot. And what about you?
Well, I can't really say the dating scene is for me, but I did speak to a lot of my friends, and I have my own assessments. And it's important for me to always know that the person that I date, or the person that I have an attachment to, or a person that I want to show I have an interest and attraction towards, it's a chemistry thing for me. I think I know when, I can't speak now because we all know my current situation. I'm not dating, I'm actually married. But for me, I feel it's a chemistry and a bond thing, and it's more of a communication understanding thing. And I think that's very vital for a woman. I think a woman likes to be listened to. I think a woman likes to feel needed and nurtured, but I have to reciprocate that. I think the man also deserves that as well. So it's
totally
an equal balance. I got a thumbs up. And I'm getting somebody who's Hercules in the background. Yay, the guys seem to agree. But I think it's a two-way street.
Yeah,
I don't think it's always for the woman. And I know for a fact the women are going to say, yeah, but it's about the woman. Yes, it is about the woman. I find we're very delicate in that way, and we're very emotional. And it's okay to be emotional. But I think it's okay to show your partner that they matter.
I totally agree with you.
So if you have that person who is open enough and willing enough to show you that side of them, that I think is an open door to something that is a potentially very strong relationship.
Yeah.
Or a bond, let's say. Could be a friendship, but it builds, and I think it's all chemistry based for me.
Yeah, I think so. And also it's a partnership,
Yeah.
It's not just like, oh, you are my man, we are 50-50, and we work together towards something that probably is going to be huge and bigger and beautiful,
Exactly.
So that's amazing. And I want to add something, because this is for our fellow girls out there. So sometimes we used to listen to this advice, like, oh, when you find a man who loves you, just go with him because he's gonna love you forever. This is true. Like, it's beautiful. To be loved is one of the best gifts ever. Mm-hmm. But this also makes you like a passive object of someone else's love. So I always say to myself, I try at least, and not to me, but to other people, like, don't just be a passive object or someone else's love, but it's important to love, to be loved, and to love.
Yes.
So be always not just waiting for someone to love you, but also give love. Mm-hmm. So love like another man if you want, but also love the people around you. So be active in your life, because love, it can be in so many different forms.
Yes.
And we don't want to be, the woman who's just passive there, and just like the moment she finds someone who's gonna love her, whoever he is, okay, I'm done, like, he loves me. No. So go for what you love to, be active. And then if you find a man that loves you and you love him back, or vice versa, it's amazing, because as Lisa said, this is a chemistry, there is a connection, and it's 50-50, because a relationship is a partnership.
I feel that in a relationship, this is more so for the women, because I find we're more emotional than men. I think there's more of us to hold on to the fact of that Casablanca silver screen. We love to be swept off our feet, Titanic, that's great. And I embrace that. For anybody who can have it, I embrace it. Reality is, everything is not silver screen. Yes, that's scripted. you have to make your own story, okay? And basically, you have to be, I find, you have to be yourself, and you have to give your genuine self to that person. So that person will know and be convinced that you are the person who only wants to be with them.
Yeah.
And you show it and you voice it, and it's a reciprocation. And I find that a lot of people put in so much effort to try to convince themselves that this is the person for me, this is the person for me. No, because you're forcing it. And that's one thing I notice about women as well. They force the idea. And you can't, because you're imposing your idea on somebody else that might not even work.
Yeah.
Right? So because you love somebody, what type of love is that? Is it because you love the person for the person they are? You love because it's in a love relationship? You have to form a bond with this person to understand the type of person they are and how compatible they are with you. Not everybody is compatible.
No, I totally understand. But I think the problem is also because we have so many deadlines that are created by our society. So within a certain age, we women, we have to get married. After a certain age, we have to have children, and then we have to live happily even after, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's why we try to make something fit, even if it doesn't, you know?
Yeah.
So, and we live with the idea of the Prince Charming, which
Yes.
everybody probably still has. But like, truth is in life, life is a roller coaster, and it's beautiful because of that, because you go down, you go up, you grow together, you build something that's unique.
Yeah.
And what Elisa said, and I totally agree with you, it's like, don't be afraid to be out there and be yourself and to show who you are, because the moment that the person that you have in front of you will love truly who you are, you know that this gonna last, because it's gonna know, or she's gonna know, or wherever is gonna know who you really are. So you don't have to be fake or to invent things, you know? You just have to be yourself. And you know, freedom is priceless in everything.
And you know what? I'm going to add to your point, because you're totally right. I think women mostly, and I know it's because I'm already dealing with women, but I find we're such emotional beings and we're so hard on ourselves.
Yeah.
We're hard on ourselves because we
Overjudgmental.
always judge ourselves. We always have to be the best, look the best, always compete with each other for that one person's attention. And I feel strongly that it's because we fear resentment. We fear being pushed away by somebody that we feel we have a potential to have a bond with. And just because you like somebody, just because you're interested in a guy, and he doesn't reciprocate that, you're not any less of an individual.
No, definitely.
You know, it's that person is not meant for you. And the fact that you're pushing the idea and you're trying to convince yourself that, yes, this is the person I want, and the person is not reciprocating, in essence, you are creating a desperation, an image of yourself that's really contrary to who you should be as a self-confident, self-assured woman.
Totally agree. Ragazze, se va bene, se funziona, funziona. Se non funziona, non funziona. If it works, works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But it doesn't mean any less of you. You're special.
Yes.
And maybe that person is not right for you. So go, let it go. Don't overstay on situation that won't work.
Yes.
And just look around, because the world is amazing. There are so many options. There's a universe for all of us, and so many kind of forms of love, friendship, and many things to discover. And as a woman, it's fantastic, the things that we can have in front of us, the options that we have in our career, in our love stories. There's a sort of life should be fun. Should be give us like a curiosity of discovering new things. Don't be afraid of being alone, because unfortunately this is another thing that society put on us. We don't have deadline. Don't be afraid, you know. Fear won't help us ever. Don't be afraid. Don't have fear. Go fearless. Be brave.
And I think a lot of people focus more on an age.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, everybody judges on age. I can't have a child when I'm 40. I can't have a kid when I'm 25. I have to get married at 30 because I have to have kids by 32. And I have to do this. Honestly, and I know because I'm speaking from experience, and I know you know as well, Francesca, planning never works.
Never.
Okay? It gives you an expectation. And as a woman, I personally do not feel that expectations work. I think living in the moment, I think living day by day, seeing where life takes you, is an exceptional idea. This is my opinion. I don't have a doctorate in family life and human relations, although my mother does, plug. My mother does.
By the way.
Oh, my mother. She's Francesca on the Cumbare.
Amazing name, by the way. It's just adding, by the way.
Francescas are all awesome.
Yeah, I cannot agree more.
I think having that expectation about how you want your life to unfold gives you a false sense of hope. And I think sometimes as women, we hold on to that because we're afraid to let go of something that we know is not working.
Yeah.
We hold on to it. We try to preserve it. You try to protect it. If you really love something, if you really want to be with somebody, you show them. And there's no ifs, ands, buts, limits, lengths of time. No, you have to just make that person know, make that person aware. And I think that's what establishes a concrete bond between two people.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Now
Definitely.
I have something else for you. This is the question a lot of people would love to know. What's the main reason you would walk out on a date?
Okay.
Ah.
First, I'm polite person. A person is like, I don't know how to say in English, sgarbato.
Yeah, somebody's ill-bred, ill-mannered.
Ill-mannered. Like, I hate that. But not just with me, with other people around, really is gonna make me crazy. Like, I hate it. Other type, if we have a conversation and it's all about money and things that someone is, like, I should be admiring this date guy or woman, whatever, because like, you know, but just like, you know, just because he owns something, so I own, like, I should be happy to be out with him because
yes,
this is really something I cannot definitely go with that. Ill-mannered and this like topics like monies and stuff and like earnings and whatever, like
yeah, that's a turn off. I totally agree with you. You know, for me, arrogance.
Oh yeah, too.
Arrogance and disrespect don't work for me. I don't like somebody who tries to portray themselves as better than they actually are. I love comedic people. I love people that you can have a good sense of comfort with. But when they give you that air of entitlement or that air of arrogance, like I am the best, and if you don't accept me, you're missing out, that don't work with me at all.
So true, really.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm not familiar with that. Maybe I'm out of whack. Maybe I'm out of the dating scene so long that I have no clue what's out there.
I feel your sister.
Maybe I'm like really out of it. But I know a lot of my friends actually tell me, they say, you know, it's very difficult to meet somebody because they all think that they're God's gift. And I said, wow, now how do you work around that? And my friend told me, actually, she's fantastic. She goes, I just don't answer the phone. She goes, I'll call her.
Makes so much sense, guys.
She doesn't answer the phone. And actually, one of my friends, believe it or not, she was out on a date with a guy. And he started talking about how fantastic he was, what he has, his car, you know, he's investing in buildings. She got up and left the restaurant. She just left him flat.
100,000 points to this amazing woman.
That's it. So it kind of leaves you to wonder, like, what kind of... Now, could it be maybe because it's the woman, or could it be maybe because it's the guy?
It's gonna be about the guy, for sure.
Is the woman too difficult?
No, I think no. There are some exceptions. There are women out there that are probably too much into like they have probably too much barriers. But I think that, I don't know, like probably all this online dating, like it's so messy and confusing. Like the guys are more likely to just swipe up, you know, just like they have so much options, so many options. And so I think we are not wrong pretending, you know, the basic of the respects, but they're probably too easy because they have so much choices out there. I don't know. I'm just not into that much, so I cannot really say that. But this is my perception from an outside point of view. So,
Do you think social media influences guys and girls?
social media now influences everything.
So do you think it's a positive outlet or platform, or do you think it's actually a negative one? Does it give us false sense of people?
I think it's in between, depends on the use you do of it. Because it could be positive, because really it's very useful for working your business, to grow it. It gives you many opportunities to display and show whatever you do. Like it could be art, it could be yourself, so it's really helping. But if you rely only on social media to construct a public persona that it doesn't correspond to who you are, this is a problem, because in the end, luckily, we are still living a life. Well, we now back to live a life outside of the virtual space. So now it's hard, because like if your persona is just a persona built on social media and it's virtually built, it's very hard now to connect with the rest of the world. So I think it depends. Social media are good, are a medium. As any medium, like cinema, radio, it depends on the use you do it.
Yeah.
Like cinema was the favorite medium by Mussolini, Hitler, because they know that it was so powerful. But cinema itself, it's amazing because it tells story.
Yes.
It tells radio as well. But it depends on the use you do of it, you made of it, you know?
Yeah.
So it's always, I don't think it's the medium the problem, it's the use you do of it.
I think maybe it's also that people, maybe women too, they read too much into it. They take things literal.
Probably,
Right?
yes.
You put a literal meaning on something, and then you harp on that and you hone on that, and you lose that sense of reality. So your judgment is clouded. And I think social media does exactly that. And I also think film to a certain extent does that. When you see a movie, let's say for example, Magic Mike, not that I did it on purpose, guys. Okay, not that I did that on purpose, but I had to plug it.
Casually happened.
It just casually just made its way inside the conversation, because that's the way it is. Not because I focus on that. It's not because of that, but it gives a woman, you know, okay, I have to be honest. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. Magic Mike 2. It was myself with a bunch of girls who actually went to see
Best
the
setting.
movie. Okay, this is gonna be a really quick, quick resume. We were actually watching the movie, okay? And there was a bunch of us in the row. I was with my sister-in-law, my friends, and all of that. And the whole row was women. So you know you go and see that movie not for the content of the script and not for
other type of content.
That's other type of content.
I feel you again, sister.
So at one point at the end of the movie, you know, they all come out and they all start dancing. And I know some of my friends turned around and they said, wow, look at that guy move, like, and you're drooling and you see the wetness and they're like, they're sinking in their seats and they're sweating. And I'm looking at it like, I have to admit, I enjoyed it. Okay, I had to admit, I did enjoy it. There was one particular actor, I will mention him, but he was Italian. And
Joe Manganiello.
He was in True Blood too.
Yeah, one of my favorite TV series, True Blood.
Yes.
Steven Moyer and also Alexandre
I like
Skarsgård.
Steven,
I actually have to choose between vampires and werewolf and
Anyway.
shifters, whatever. Like, wow.
Anyway, the moral of the story here is that when you see this, the woman right away turns around and it's like, wow. Right? You get a false impression that all men do that, right? And then
Eyes needs their, it needs to see something sometimes.
exactly. So I had the Coke on my head for the heat that was coming down.
You know, you can get us to do a dance like a.
There you go. Come on, I think we're still live. Come
There's not enough money in this room.
See, that's exactly what we were talking about. Thank you, Mr. Vanni, for proving our points.
Magic stuff.
Anyways, so that being said, I mean, just to say in a nutshell, I think it's basically the vision that we create within our minds of the perfect life and the perfect person instead of living that reality. And it's just to say that your reality could be just as perfect.
Yeah.
You can have that perfect person, but you just have to appreciate it.
You can have your Joe Manganiello, your personal Joe Manganiello.
Although Sofia Vergara has that.
Yeah, but it's like the Sofia Vergara's one.
Sophia who?
See,
Hey, you!
Salma Hayek, whatever.
Yeah. Let's talk. Hi.
Anyways, guys, it's always a pleasure, and we're having such interesting conversations. And this time we missed actually some wine. And luckily, on the one hand, because seeing how like the conversation went that far,
Could have gone worse.
a little bit.
That's next show.
Definitely.
Maybe. I don't know.
Who knows, whoever. And follow us because you're going to discover also our next guest.
Oh, yes. This you can't miss. This is going to be fun, too.
Oh, it's going to be super fun, guys. You don't want to miss that. And of course, don't miss each episode of Cumbare. If you miss some of it, please go back and watch it because you cannot, miss, the trauma. Trauma? Do you see the trauma? The trauma?
Yeah, you can.
Drama.
But if you miss it, blame
trauma?
Stefano Vanni. What?
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 What? What happened?
Hey!
Hey. Oh, bye, guys. Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in.